What's up, everybody? It's Strings and Sweaters, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Winter Classic jerseys. Let's get into this. Welcome back. So we are starting with a long list of overdue videos that I've had to be getting to for over the last few months. The Seattle Kraken jersey was released. The Vegas Knights Winter Classic jersey was released, along with some other jerseys, and expecting soon the Rangers jersey will be released. The Rangers just actually had on their Instagram or their Twitter like a promo video alerting everybody. It was like this shot of the Rangers logo in the streets of New York City, alerting everybody that news is coming soon. So we have a lot of jerseys to review. Let me actually check really quick if the Rangers did release a new jersey. Not yet. All right, well, I'll keep you posted. Make sure you guys subscribe and like to the channel for new jersey reviews. But today, our topic is going to be the Seattle Kraken Winter Classic versus the Vegas Knights Winter Classic. So let's get into this. We're going to start with the team behind me, the Seattle Kraken. All right, just a little bit of brief history here before we talk about the jersey release and how the jersey looks, the most important part. This jersey is based on the Seattle Metropolitans. So to give you some background history, the Seattle Metropolitans were a team back in the early 1900s, and they actually won a Stanley Cup. They were actually the first American team to win a Stanley Cup. They beat the Montreal Canadiens. And they won it in 1917. And what's interesting is they actually would have won back-to-back cups. So they would have been the first American team to win two Stanley Cups and also two Stanley Cups back-to-back. But some players had fallen ill. This was during a very war-torn time. And one of the players on the Montreal Canadiens actually passed away. So out of respect, the Montreal Canadiens said, look, we're going to stop, the Stanley Cup, and we'll just give you guys the championship title. And then Seattle responded saying, no, we can't take it out of honor. We didn't win it. So that year there was no Stanley Cup champion, but kind of cool. Fast forward to 2022, the Seattle Kraken made the playoffs for the first time. When will we see a Seattle Kraken Stanley Cup? Who knows? But that day when their name gets put on that cup, it will be very historic because you'll have the Seattle Metropolitans to start all the way up on that top, and then below, many teams below, many amazing histories of different franchises and players. You will have the Seattle Kraken. So all right, let's get into it. Let's talk about this jersey. So let's talk about the unveiling. It was a very strange way to unveil a jersey. Really probably wasn't intentional, but it was a jersey leak that happened in two instances. Players for the Utah Jazz were seen walking into the game with the jerseys on. And then there was like a weird media show for like wrestling or something like that, which is also curiously owned by the same TV network that owns and puts on the NHL games. Maybe that's what was going on. But a woman and a man on that show were both wearing the Seattle and Vegas Winter Classic jerseys. And then a week later, we actually got the real unveiling. And it's kind of sad that that got spoiled because, oh my gosh, is this unveiling video just like, it just raises the hair like on my skin. Like it is so freaking cool. It shows some Seattle, probably not Seattle players, but like some workers, like fishermen, different types of like jobs and around the city in Seattle, different cultural things of people wearing this jersey, and they're on this boat, and it's just so cinematic. I'll put some clips of it up on the screen here. It's just so cinematic and awesome, and it's just a great way to see the jersey. It reminds me of what the Penguins and Bruins did last year for their Winter Classic. Cool way to introduce the jersey. Too bad it got spoiled by basketball players in Utah somehow wearing the Kraken jersey. If you know the story about that, why they even had that on, let me know in the comments. I don't care enough to look it up because it's just silliness. We also have some videos of like the players seeing it for the first time. I'll put some clips right here of that, which I think is really cool when players get to see their own team's jersey designs for the first time. I remember one comical thing was back when the Reverse Retro 2s came out, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they had a video unveiling their lightning bolt jersey, storm jersey, and the players were like, this is hideous. So it can go one or two ways. It's kind of funny seeing the players' reactions. If you want to see any of the stuff I'm talking about, it's on the Seattle Kraken's Instagram. All right, but now let's just break down the jersey. So what we have here is we have a Seattle Metropolitans themed jersey. The coolest thing that they got right about this jersey is the hanger effect and the logo. What do I mean by that? Well, so basically the Seattle Metropolitans, they had an S for Seattle and then they spelled out Metropolitan in the S, but it really the letters were kind of like stitched on in weird kind of random ways. There's no symmetry with it. And you see this brought back to life on this Seattle Winter Classic jersey where we have the Kraken and you have the K is kind of a little bit more above the A. The E is just sticking out there. It's out in space. There's like you could have definitely cleaned this up, and they did that on purpose, which I think is super cool. And you see it again in the color effect too, where you have the 19, you have the hanger effect, where you have the year that the Seattle Metropolitans won their Stanley Cup. You have the numbers there basically offset and not lined up like you normally would see, which is it's a cool detail that they were able to hone in on from the original jersey. Let's talk about some things about this jersey that seem a little bit off. Like, for instance, I would say that this middle stripe that is the Seattle dark blue that they use, it's larger than the other stripes on the jersey, which can be strange. It kind of reminds me of the same format, though, that the Seattle Kraken did for the Reverse Retro 2, where the stripes are kind of offset on that one, too. Let's see, the numbers on the arms are also, they're they really pop out. And it makes sense to have the numbers on the arms the same color as the logo, but at the same time, they actually didn't have to be. They could have been white, they could have been that off-white color, and they could have had a red outline to make it pop from the kind of like that cream off-white color in that stripe on the arm. So they didn't have to be red. Another strange thing is that if you look at the Seattle Kraken jersey that is the captain's patch isn't red. It's kind of what I was talking about. It's an off-white kind of cream color. And so it's just this inconsistency among the number kit and the name kit where, it's just strange looking. One thing that is just amazing on this jersey is that cream vintage off-white color that they added to the stripes. And then that felt very kind of old-fashioned classic looking red felt that they have on the logo. It looks sick. It's the stitching on that logo too is awesome. The way they stitch the numbers in, very similar to how the Boston Winter Classic had the Boston name or Boston letters stitched in with this old time kind of stitching style where they just put the thread through the letters. Super cool. The only thing this jersey needs, well, actually, I'm mistaken. It does have it. I just am looking at a picture where they haven't added it to it yet. But make sure if you're going to buy this jersey, you get this, is a sick patch, which it does have a sick patch. I'll put the Winter Classic patch up here right now. Yeah, that separates the shoulders because you don't have a lot of differentiate. I can't even talk. You don't have any like variation in how the shoulder looks above this part, like above the chest. And it is kind of dull, but I think that patch really kind of adds like something else to the jersey. That's really awesome. And that patch is a sick patch. It's definitely gonna be one that I want to add to my patch display collection over here. All right, one last thing I'll talk about the jersey is that I think people are going to be a little bit surprised if they order the Seattle Kraken numbered kit jersey, because the numbers on this jersey are huge. And I don't know if you've ever been, to a hockey game with your jersey and you're driving in your car, or you're on a train and you're waiting, and like you just keep doing this. You just feel the numbers like bending behind you. So numbers on jersey are sick, but when you get like a player with two numbers, like maybe Grubauer, even this Tanev has two numbers, you're gonna get these two gigantic red, huge numbers on the back. So I foresee in the future a lot of used Seattle Kraken Winter Classic jerseys with the numbers having small little creases on the edges of them, because it's almost unavoidable. But yeah, numbers are huge, but it's also awesome because the numbers touch every color that is layered throughout this jersey. So they touch the dark blue on the top, then they touch that kind of like aqua teal that they use, and then they touch the new old-fashioned old school off-white color. And then they finish by touching the dark blue. That's what I mean. These numbers are freaking huge on this jersey. The whole kit, I think let's see if I can find a picture of the full kit. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to do another video when the jerseys get on the ice, because there's no pictures yet, or there's no pictures yet showing the full kit, showing the gloves, showing that I saw the helmet. It's just going to be the same matching color that the Seattle Kraken usually have for their helmet. But I got to see those pants, what stripes are going to be there. Definitely the socks, want to know. And then, as they play the game, you'll have the goalie mask, goalie pads, how those interact with the jersey. So we'll definitely have to come back, revisit this jersey, and talk about it. Let's move on to the Vegas Knights jersey. Let me give like a ranking out of 10 of this Seattle Kraken jersey. I love this jersey. I think it is phenomenal. The colors all just are so pleasing to the eye. The numbers pop so nicely, and that logo, got to be one of my favorite logos I've ever seen on an NHL jersey. I'm going to give this jersey a 9 out of 10. All right, let's go on to the Vegas Knights jersey. All right, so no history lesson on Vegas, because they've had some small hockey teams, but nothing that's been influencing this Winter Classic jersey. It seems to be that the influence for this Winter Classic jersey is going to be this Western theme. So going back before the Vegas Strip was built and the casinos were built and they had just saloons. So we see on the jersey, on their new what you would call crest, but really logo that could probably be used in the future if they were ever to bring it back. It's this gray V, and the gray V has these kind of gold like outlined, I don't really know what to call it, like kind of like I would call it fancy stitching, what this stitching is, though, knowing that the background of this jersey, or the influence of this jersey, is this kind of Western cowboy theme. What this stitching is it's trying to show like classic embroidering that might be on like a cowboy leather cowboy boot, or might be on like a blouse, or like a cowboy's jacket. I'll show you here kind of what I'm talking about, examples, and you can maybe see the similarities I'm trying to draw there. You really see it when you get to see the number kit on the back of the jersey. how it kind of twists around. Like if the numbers have a bevel in the middle, like the number 3, you can see how it kind of like the embroidery like decorates the curves in the number, and you get a really good idea of like, yes, this is like basically like this cowboy western style jersey. Now, when I first saw it, I don't know what I was seeing. I think the lighting really changes how the logo looks, but I thought that this jersey had a purple V on it. Also, the leak pics were really pixely and crappy, but I thought that this V here was purple and gold, and I went, wait a second, you can't have purple and gold, like that's LA. You just can't add purple to your color scheme if you're also gonna be, you know, gold black, gold white. It's just can't do it. I'm not like the officiator of what colors teams can have here, but I just would strongly disagree with it. But for a closer look at pictures of people who actually have bought the jersey, it is apparent that like the V on this jersey is gray. The numbers are gray. The name stitching is gray. Now, this jersey's cool. I feel like if you really like the style of like Civil War caps, what I'm describing here is, for instance, I'll use this jersey. I just acquired the Blue Jackets. If you guys haven't seen this video, I just got this Blue Jackets jersey in a trade. I'll link that video above here. You guys can go watch it. But do you see how we have our Union cap? Okay, so in not necessarily as much Union, but all the generals would definitely have it. But Confederate caps. I grew up in Harrisburg, so we would constantly take trips up to Gettysburg and see, you know, the different uniforms, and they would all have this like embroidery that kind of like loops, and it's always gold. It was gold if it was the Union, it was gold if it was the Confederates, but it would like kind of loop. And so that's what people are seeing when they're talking about how the logo is given the two middle fingers. I think that's a little bit silly, but like, I get it, I guess, but what it is supposed to be is it's supposed to be like this like old-fashioned kind of embroidery loop that you might see on a Cowboys, outfit, or even like a Civil War soldier's outfit. So you have this gray V here. To be honest with you, what I've seen in person, this thing is just made of flimsy fabric. It's not layered. It almost like folds over when you hold the jersey up. It doesn't like have its own kind of depth to it. The colors of it are just kind of make it fade into the background. They're not stark. I honestly think if they had the same V on a jersey again, they should make it black. Make it black. That's what's so cool about the V in this logo. It pops so well because it's a gold helmet and it's just so black. They even used this like cool like what you would vinyl stitching. I don't know what to call it, but this like very, very dark, fabric here. Make it pop. You have a jersey, it's white, so make the V pop, right? It's just kind of lost when it's gray. And the sad part about it is the white is this cream color white, and it actually causes, that gold stitching to kind of get lost as well in the logo. And then when you get to the shoulders, you get this just awful shoulder pattern, which was on like the last year's Winter Classic jerseys. I hate it. Can't stand this elongated shoulder. It doesn't work with the bubbling effect. Maybe it'll look better when Fanatics takes over. I don't know if Fanatics will still do the bubbling effect or not. Be interesting to see. But this doesn't work at all with the bubbling effect. It just looks bad. And then the only thing that could have saved this jersey could have been cool striping. They could have done, maybe instead of horizontal striping, they could have done vertical striping. We haven't seen that in a while. Kind of like that old like Senators jersey. That could have been cool. But no, we just have one stripe at the base, which I get it. This is what's on the Vegas jerseys, is one stripe at the base. You get the same color on the bottom. This is where you could have added some variation and also some interesting design effects. at the very bottom of the jersey? What if the very bottom of the jersey, the stripe was that Vegas red that you see right here? That would be cool. And what if you added along the collar, you added an outline of that Vegas red too? So then that pops. That could instantly make this jersey a lot more attractive, right? One thing they did get right about this jersey is that number font is just so unique. Like, I love the way that the numbers are embroidered at the end, how they go in there like very like stylized loops. It's really stunning. Also, the nameplate font is very unique too. It's very skinny and small, but it's just a cool, like, unique Western. This jersey is like almost like a custom jersey that you might make for a beer league. It's really out there when you get down to like the numbers and the nameplate. The only sad thing is just the front of the jersey is just so like forgettable. I'm gonna do one last check to see the captain's patch to see if it's any different. It is. The captain's patch does have that cool effect on it where like the end or the edge of the letter is like kind of like curled up. The C is curled up. Another thing though that I just noticed is that the C and the numbers on the arm sleeves, this jersey's not numbered, I don't know why I just pointed there, but if it was numbered, you would see that the numbers on the arm sleeves, such as in this jersey, you see the number here, matches the back. But on this jersey, the C and the numbers on the arm sleeves do not have that gold embroidery around it, but they still have the loops as if it should have it on it. So is that like a logistics thing? They're like, yeah, we don't want to, we can't like take the time to put this like embroidery on the numbers. We didn't know how to figure it out. I do understand that could be hard, but you have it on the numbers on the back. So what's so hard about downsizing something? I'm not sure, but that's what I'm noticing. There's just inconsistency a lot with this jersey. So yeah, on top of it, we have a boring jersey and a lot of inconsistencies. I think it's a good idea that I would like to see Vegas bring back. Like, maybe bring this logo back on a different jersey, or maybe even as a shoulder patch would be cool. But I just think the lack of like colors and variation just kind of ruins the jersey for me. I'm going to give this jersey a 3 out of 10. What would you guys rank these jerseys? Let me know in the comments. If I missed anything about the jersey that you love or that you hate, let me know in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe. You guys are the best. I'll see you next time. Peace out.